Matraville, and it's Mrs.
Pearson, Dorothy Pearson.
How do you feel, Dorothy? Really?
All shaky.
And it's Mr. Pearson.
Yes, my husband.
Congratulations. $24,000 worth of car from City Ford.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Well, you're not Balmain supporters, are you?
No, South Sydney.
Well, they didn't have a win this year in 1988, but it's a win for you. Congratulations from City Ford, Channel 10 of the Rugby League.
Thank you very, very much.
Okay.
Thank you.
There it is, Mrs. Pearson from Matraville. A winner and a fabulous new car from City Ford. Ian Maurice, we found one winner already today.
Yeah, and there'll be plenty more, Graham. Congratulations to Mrs. Pearson. Well, good luck to you. Well, a lot of celebrities are wandering through into the playing area at the moment. We have one with us, Carolyn Lumley, currently Miss Australia. Welcome home.
Thank you.
You've been all through Europe.
Yes, Europe, London, Singapore. That's tough. No, that was part of our prize as Miss Australia.
I know that you're a very keen rugby league supporter. How frustrating was it trying to keep in touch with what was happening?
Well, in London it was all right. We sort of got snippets, but throughout Europe, I mean, you were lucky if you got an English, written newspaper. So I kept ringing home every second week, sort of trying to find out who was getting into the finals and so forth. We took a bus tour, and 50% of them were Australians, and everyone wanted to know who was in the grand final.
You really wanted to find out if Parramatta was in the grand final, right?
Yes, this is true. Well, reserve grade and President's Cup anyway.
Well, you've got the President's Cup starting soon. Get in there and give them a big cheer, eh?
Thank you. We will.
Okay. Carolyn Lumley, Miss Australia. Now, everyone who's anyone in this town of ours gives tips at this time of the year. Some of them know what they're talking about, some don't. Doesn't really matter. Celebrity tips, it's all part and parcel of rugby league.
Well, if you look at rugby league grand finals over the last 30 years or so, you'll find that the favourites almost invariably win. The biggest upset, though, was when Balmain beat Souths in 1969. I mean, they were just about 2-3 to 1 long shots. So for that reason, I'm going to go for Balmain. I don't think they're long shots at all today, but I think that they're on a, sort of an emotional roll. The build-up has been so sensational for them. People want Balmain to win. I mean, sure, Canterbury fans don't, but I reckon if you talk to people around Sydney, Balmain are the team they want to win. I think Balmain want to win just that bit more. And also, like Wayne Pearce is a mate of ours here at Channel 10. He's a good colleague, and I reckon, like, Wayne doesn't have a drink. And I mean, any guy that, if you can't have a beer in life, I reckon you deserve a break.
Well, my team, Eastern Suburbs, isn't in the grand final this year. In fact, I don't even think they're in the comp this year. And Manly's not in it, which pleases me. So I would like to see Balmain win, for sentimental reasons, if for nothing else. I just think it's about time the Tigers won a grand final. Canterbury have had their turn in the 80s. And furthermore, I think Balmain have probably got the machinery to do it.
Well, I've got to go with Wayne Pearce, because anybody who keeps that fit, doesn't drink and eats that much deserves a big win.
I don't think the arduous campaign Balmain's faced over the past 4 weeks will go against them, and I don't think the fact that Canterbury's missed a week will go against them, but in a match that certainly will be a great one, it'll be Canterbury by a boarding house scrape of butter.
I think it'll have to be Balmain. They've got the Black Pearl from England, Wayne Pearce, first grand final. I think they'll do them.
I think that Balmain will win. But then again, I think I have a deeper prediction than that, in that I think that one or the other are bound to win. But if Juventus were playing, I'd be terribly happy. No, I think Balmain.
Oh, mate, I still think Newtown will win. Remaining undefeated since '83. I see a Newtown victory again.
Well, I think Balmain, I think the two teams are very evenly matched, but I suspect, with all the power of my knowledge in these matters, that one player may make the difference, and I think that might be Ellery Hanley.
I guess I'm like most of Sydney, hoping that Balmain can get up there and kill them. They're big sentimental favourites. They've got a lot going for them. I'd really hope they can, yeah.
Tigers. I think it'd be great for the game. I think they've played magnificently, and I think shown a lot of courage. I'm going to lose a lot of friends, but I hope Balmain.
Balmain will win and win well.
Why?
Well, I think they've played every week, and I'd certainly be wanting a team to play every week. Canterbury, of course, got 2 weeks off. But I think they've got the forwards who can at least cope with the Canterbury forwards, who are very strong. They're very strong around the base of the scrum. Out of the ruck, I mean, Elias is a gifted genius of a player, and really in form. Out wide, they've got people like Hanley. They've got a goal kicker like Conlon, who turned the game when he knocked that kick over last week, and Elias's field goal. So I think all in all, they're a very balanced side. Ryan's been there, and I think that counts in grand finals. He knows that hot air atmosphere. So I think they'll win.
I think the Bulldogs. I think the week off more this year because of the position Balmain has come from is important. I wouldn't be surprised if Canterbury has it won by half-time. I know that sounds rather daring after the great spirit the Tigers have shown, but I think they will be taxidermist material by half-time.
Welcome back just outside the members' entrance to the Sydney Football Stadium, all the colour with the marching girls today, grand final day 1988. And welcome to Tommy Tackler, the new representative of the Australian Players Association, Col Fraser, their marketing director. What's the idea behind Tommy?
He's our newest team member, Tommy Tackler. Tommy is going to be tackling all the tough off-field issues, the tackling drugs, vandalism, bad sportsmanship, all of that sort of thing. He's looks the part today.
Is Tommy unbiased about the grand final, Balmain Canterbury?
Well, Tommy's tip today is that it'll be a tough tackling game with a big kicking game, the ball going end over end, with these two teams being very close, and probably a bounce of the ball will decide it.
What about Col Fraser, Balmain Canterbury? Quickly.
Balmain.
All right, Balmain, there it is. There he is, Tommy Tackler. Grand final day 1988. We'll take a break and then be back with all the colour.
Just in time for the kick-off of the under-21 grand final between East and Parramatta. Let's go to our commentators, Billy J. Smith, Bill Anderson and Peter Sterling.
Thanks very much, Gordon. Of course, the match today in this under-21s is between East and Parramatta. As I said earlier today, Parramatta finished on top as minor premiers with 36, but East just behind them on 35. So, Bill, I guess it's fairly right that the two top teams should make it.
Yes, we've got the two best sides here. It all comes down to 70 minutes of football, 35 minutes each way, and I think there's an upset on the cards here.
All right, so you're going for East, I gather.
I am.
What are you basing that on? The fact that Parramatta haven't had a lot of games in the last few weeks?
Yes, partly, but also the fact that I think Eastern Suburbs have got a lot more improvement in them.
Yeah. All right, Peter Sterling down on the touchline with us. Sterlo, I guess you'll have to say with Parramatta in this one?
Mate, I'm a little bit biased. Obviously, I think the boys have played well enough all year. Obviously, by finishing minor premiers, that shows that. And I think they're capable of going all the way.
All right, well, Parramatta have won the two clashes these teams have had this year. They won 28-12, of course, first time round, and then in the major semi-final, they defeated East by 25 points to 2. So that's the way they've gone this year, but of course, grand finals are a different sort of a story. And here they are, first penalty of the match coming up with referee Greg McCallum, and it's going to Parramatta. So we'll see the kick from there. It's about 10, but just on 10 metres inside the Parramatta half of the field.
It's probably worth noting the player taking this kick for Parramatta is Andrew Fitzhenry, former Penrith player with a lot of first-grade experience, and his kicking game today is going to be one of the trump cards that Parramatta have got going for them.
All right, he's played a few A-grade matches, and
he's a good player.
Actually, just when you have a look through some of these guys, they have had quite a few there with A-grade experience.
Yeah, it was more difficult this year for players to be given that blooding in first grade because of the rule structure, which didn't allow the coach to use an under-21 player in first grade on the same day. But some of them still have had a taste of first grade, and that counts for a lot in the grand final.
So this is Greentree coming up as dummy half. He'll switch it around the blind side, but they can't make a way through there. Going to ground, and the tackle will be Bartlett just on the quarter line. Greentree again, getting it away. That's Bell. Outside then to Farah. Farah trying to get around, but can't. The tackler under there is Beecraft for Eastern Suburbs. Now the final tackle. So Greentree swings it across again. There's Fitzhenry up into it, and there's the kick nice and high. It's not a bad one either. Coming back into the in-goal area. They're rushing for it, but taken back there by Silver for Eastern Suburbs. Takes it nicely in the in-goal area under a lot of pressure.
Yes, it was a good take here by Silver, and you can see him going up for the ball, never took his eye off it. That was a very courageous take, but he also is a former Penrith junior playing for East, just as Fitzhenry is playing for Parra.
Okay, so away from dummy half this time. We've got Sharp singing it away, but can't make a way through there is Hardy. So from the play the ball now. They work it away. This is big Billy Rule. Rule was in a bit of doubt. He had an ankle problem. He went off early last week in the match against Canberra. He's lost the ball on this occasion. Going to be picked up over there by Donnelly for Parramatta. And Donnelly goes to ground 10 metres inside East territory. So Greentree's up as dummy half again. Greentree swings away to Kapnak, the front rower. They're midway between the quarter and halfway, down in East territory now. And away over there to Bell, outside to Farah. Farah cuts it away to Collins. Collins is going to be wrapped up, though, very smartly getting across over there is Stewart to take care of him. Ball and all away from dummy half. They work the blind side again. And taking it up there is Bartlett. Greentree. That's gear side. Just short of the quarter, and the final tackle again. And there's Fitzhenry up into that kicking roll. He'll kick across into the in-goal area. Came away from the hands of Georgialis. Back over the dead ball line, so we'll take it from underneath the goal now. Peter Sterling down there on the touchline. I guess the weather, it's starting to warm up here, and we're at the top, but there's a bit of a breeze. What's it like down there?
Billy, it's starting to get very warm down here. I thought there might have been a fair bit of wind, but it doesn't look as though it's really very advantageous to either side at the moment, and both sides obviously employing a good kicking game. So, the defence has been tremendous early on. Looks like it's going to be a great match between these two young sides.
Referee McCallum taking a touch judge report there as he speaks to the East's hooker in Jeff Sharp. And so we'll see play resume from underneath the goal mouth. This will be the kick out coming up now. Carrying back towards Watson. Watson eventually takes it. Up over the halfway mark. Going to be put to the ground, and the tackle coming about up there by the lock forward coming up in Hardy. So it's Parramatta, some 10 metres inside East territory. Dummy half waiting is Greentree. Cross over there to Catnack. Greentree works it away. Comes out of the hands of Farah. But eventually Parramatta hang on to it. Greentree working away on the blind side. Coming up there this time is King. King about 12 metres inside East territory. Here's the final tackle. A little kick through coming out after Bell. But cutting across from the wing is Bush. Bush going to be put to the ground. A penalty coming up here now for Eastern Suburbs. So coming up to take the kick will be...
Well, you can see the reason for this. The chip here put over the top of the Eastern Suburbs defence, but it's fielded by Eastern Suburbs, but the Parramatta players well inside the 5 metres.
Here's Stewart, the centre. Pretty exciting player, this fella, Bill.
Yes, he is, son of Lava Stewart, who was a legend in the Eastern Suburbs, and this young fellow, who's only very slight, only 66 kilos, has got plenty of skills.
So they'll take the tap midway between the quarter and halfway. Down in East territory, coming up onto the mark is Sharp. He'll turn it across over there. Coming up quite strongly this time will be Beecraft. So trying to step around over there is Ruggles. Wrapped up about 5 metres short of the halfway. Sharp dummy half. Working it away this time to Rule. Both Rule and Dart have been under injury clouds this week, but they've taken their place. And two pretty important players in this East lineup. Straight through the hands over there of Deacon. Going to be swooped on this time. Coming up there is Gearside. Tries to send it over the top. It goes straight into the hands of Bush. And Bush will be wrestled to the ground. So a bit of a let-off there. Some good attack from Parramatta. But the pass going just a little bit loose, and East able to come away with it and relieve the pressure. Well, Parramatta have most of the possession so far. They put the pressure on East. Here's a chance for them to get back into that attacking business. Taking it up there is Culnane. 5 metres short of the halfway mark. Sharp to dummy half. Sending it across over there to Dart. Dart up the centre. Here he goes. He's only got the full back to beat. What'll he do? Up to the quarter line. No support. Goes to ground with it about 15 metres out from the Parramatta line. Final tackle now. Sharp to dummy half. He'll swing it away. Coming outside to Stewart. Wrapped up ball and all, and that'll be the changeover. So we'll wait for Parramatta to end up with it, which they do now. And away from dummy half, it'll be Collins trying to find a way through. Rod Collins, the captain, only 18 years of age. So he'll be the youngest captain out there in this grand final day today. So Greentree away from dummy half. They keep it going rather smartly. Over there is Donnelly. Greentree again. Pass to no one. Still going, rolling along the ground. Eventually Watson ends up with it. Not good stuff from Parramatta on that occasion. Very loose play. Greentree again to dummy half. So no points on the board as yet. We've had 7.5 minutes of play in this, the President's Cup Grand Final. Kick through, going to be taken nicely back there by Georgiadis. Or rather Silver. Silver running away now, tries to get the pass to Bush. Rolling. Bush will end up with it, but the referee will call a halt to play. We'll have a scrum a couple of metres inside Parramatta territory. So this Eastern Suburbs side, we noticed them last week in the match against Canberra. They really felt the pinch in the last 10 minutes of it, and Canberra were able to get up close to about 18-12 after it was 16-2 at half-time. I noticed Bill Dart down to the background receiving some attention. Dart's had trouble with an ankle injury, but he's back into the field of play. They'll pack down with a scrum without him. Referee McCullums wants the ball to go in again. No points on the board as yet as the scrum goes down on the halfway mark. Going to blind side this time is Bell. Still going is Bell. Coming up over the quarter line. He got the speed. Silver coming across. He cut back inside, but mown down from behind. And put to the ground of the tackle over there. He'll play it now. From the play, the ball, they keep it going. This is Farah. Farah's going to be bowled over about 4 or 5 metres out from that line. Greentree away from dummy half. Down to Bell. Bell gets it away to Fitzhenry. He'll be wrapped up a few metres out. Parramatta putting on plenty of pressure now. And a penalty, Parramatta. Penalty. And we'll be back in a moment. It's 0-0 at the moment here.
Bobby Fulton, Balmain or Canterbury?
Oh, Canterbury, Graham. I think a little bit, pack's much the same size, but Canterbury with a little bit more skill and a better preparation. I think the week off will do them the world of good.
Mortimer play a part?
I think so. Probably about the same part as what Scotty Gale will play.
Okay, so here we are back at the Sydney Football Stadium, and it's Parramatta with a lead of 2-0. We did leave you when they had that shot at goal. It was Andrew Fitzhenry lining up, and here's how it went by Fitzhenry. Moving in, bang, no doubt about it. The 2 points on the board for Parramatta. Since then, play's been down a bit in Parramatta's half, but then they came back. But Easter received a penalty, which they haven't been able to take play up to about 10 metres short of the halfway mark. So they're in possession, and getting up to play it there is Beecraft. So they keep it going. Along out there to Stewart. Stewart going to be wrapped up, though. Farrah, the 5'8", from Parramatta, taking him ball and all and throwing him into the ground. They play it nice and tough and hard and fast, these young fellows. A little kick through there, but it'll be taken back there by Watson for Parramatta. Watson coming away over the halfway mark. Still going as Watson. Got pulled down from behind, though. There, getting right in underneath him was Lindsay. And across over there in cover was Calnay, but the referee bringing it back to the halfway mark. The touch judge coming in to make a report from there.
Yes, I think we'll find that when the ball was chipped over the top by George Arliss, that he was interfered with, didn't have the opportunity to recover his kick, and it should be a penalty to Easts.
Alrighty, let's have a look at it. Running around there. Here's the breakaway coming up this time from Watson. Watson on his way, and there's the tackle from behind as Lindsay comes in. And there it goes. So the penalty has been awarded to Eastern Suburbs. And that'll give them a chance to drive the ball deep down into Parramatta territory and take it up from there. Comes right off the side of the foot this time of Stewart. Doesn't gain much ground at all, as a matter of fact. I would say Peter Sterling might have been looking for a little bit better kick than that one.
Yes, but he's looking very dangerous. If anything, I think they've probably started the game a little bit more solidly than the Parramatta side. And, I think our blokes have probably got to get a bit more organised in their play, or we could have a few problems down this end of the paddock.
All right, so it's East in possession now, some 30 metres out from the Parramatta line. Sharp is the dummy half. Sharp will send it away. Coming up there this time is Dart. Good run from Billy Rule a short time ago, which got Eastern Suburbs on the boil again. Here's the little kick through. Coming through. No, it's going to be taken back there by Fitzhenry. He's lost it, picked up by Stewart. Play on, says referee McCallum. They're only about a metre out. He'll play it now. Silver is dummy half. Will he swing it? Yes, he does. He gets it away. But cutting around, they can't find a way through. That was George Jarlis trying to jump through there. Second row coming up there in Beecraft. Beecraft is so close to that line. He'll get up to play it. Dummy half, George Jarlis again. Swings it away. A long one. It'll be taken over there by Sharp, but he's well wrapped up, and they have men to burn Eastern Suburbs in. So away from dummy half, Calnane sends it across. This is Dart. Dart trying to get it around the corner, over the top, anywhere to get it out, but he can't. Final tackle. He's putting on the pressure. There it goes, up nice and high. Watch it come down. Players go everywhere. Ball is going to be an East ball. Can they get it down? No.
6 to go.
6 tackles to go, and they'll use everyone again. Trying to find a way through there is Stewart. Stewart can't get there, though. The dummy half is Sharp. Parramatta defence holding out, but how long can they do it for? Dummy half is Dart again. Dart puts his head down. I don't think they'll win it in there, Bill.
The wasting tackles in there. The opportunities are out wide, and that's where the ball's got to go.
So Sharp out on the left there. They've got quite a few over. Let's see if they keep going. George Arliss dummies. He cuts back inside. Held up, unloaded it. Got it away then to Beecraft, rather, but Beecraft held out again by Parramatta. So now they swing it wide. Here's the big chance. They're after him, going in for the try. Yes, over he goes. He's Lindsay. And Eastern Suburbs get their first try of the match. And it's Dean Lindsay, the man going in for them.
Well, this try probably could have been scored a couple of play-the balls before. The Parramatta defence had compressed to try and stop things around the ruck area, but it was out wide where the opportunities were.
Yeah, it's just constant pressure, Bill. Unfortunately, our blokes couldn't hold them out that extra one tackle, and that's a great start for Eastern Suburbs. I think they had to score then with the amount of pressure that they were able to apply.
Yeah, those extra 6 tackles made all the difference, but they've been wasting their time prior to that. It was spinning it wide, which did the duty for them. So now, down again. We see Bill Darts, but back onto his feet. So it'll be Stewart, the man to kick for goal. Stewart has kicked 31 goals, 4 field goals, and also scored 11 tries, so he's rattled up 107 points out of the 14 matches that he's played, which is not a bad effort all round. Matter of fact, in the match against, there's an East supporter looking rather fierce at this stage. I thought he'd be a little bit happier at that occasion after the try came through. In the match last week, Stewart scored something like 12 out of 14 out of the 18 points. So there's Bill Rule leaving the field, so that ankle hasn't come through.
It's a big loss. He's their toughest and most experienced player.
Obviously, he came off last week. He'd been carried off in a stretcher 2 weeks before that. And obviously hoping that he could stay there and give them about 20 or 30 or maybe 35 minutes the first half of the match to get them on the way. But they've scored the try. That's something that he'll be a loss, all right. So here's Stewart. Got one of the most unusual kicking styles you've seen. Places the ball, he moves around, but he's super cool the whole way. There's the kick. No doubt about it. That's good stuff. Through it goes. So East have a lead of 6 points to 2 here at the Sydney Football Stadium. This is President Cup, under 21. 14.5 minutes remaining in this, the first half. Here's Fitzhenry with a shot at goal that was on while we were away there, and he was successful. It was a great kick by him, as a matter of fact, so that made it 6 points to 4, with East leading Parramatta here. 6 points to 4. There's the man who's responsible for the 2 goals so far for Parramatta. And we just saw another good bust there too by the 5'8" Dan Farah, and those 2 halves have started for Parramatta, starting to find a couple of holes.
Yeah, I don't know that Eastern Suburbs defensive line's all that good, Bill. It looks a little bit ragged to me, and they have cocked up possession a couple of times when they weren't under pressure. I think Parramatta are coming home a little bit stronger in this last 13 minutes before half-time.
By the way, with Bill Rule off for East, the replacement is number 18, and that's Evan Burris. He's on there for the Roosters. So now it's Greentree as dummy half. Parramatta about 10 metres down inside their own territory. Taking it up there was Donnelly. So away from dummy half now, across fields. Farah sends it outside there to Woods, but he's going to be well wrapped up. Away from the play the ball, final tackle, so a kick through. Silva takes it with a little bit of difficulty. Running across field, still going Silva. Now he straightens up, and he's going to be bowled over in the tackle. Getting across over there to put him down is Chris King. So now it's East in possession. They lead by 6 points to 4, and 13 minutes remaining in this first half. It's the President's Cup final, the build-up to the Winfield Cup Grand Final. Taking up there is Culnane. Sharp from dummy half. He'll swing it back then. The boot coming underneath it from Stewart. Going back there is Watson. Watson will take it just in front of Fitzhenry. He's on the quarter line. Straightens it up, but straight in underneath is Lindsay in the tackle. Placement play, by the way, is Paul James coming on for us. James it is, not Bruce. Greentree dummy half. They keep it going. Eventually cross over there to Donnelly. Farah swinging it away on the blind side. Taking it up there is Bartlett. Parramatta about 10 metres inside their own territory. They trail by the 2 points at the moment. Ducking his way through again this time. There's plenty of gaps coming through as Fitzhenry kicks forward. Regathers. Taken ball and all by Silva. It would have been all over if he had been able to get away to Farah.
Yeah, once again, we saw them open up on the edge of the ruck, and they're a little bit immobile there, Eastern Suburbs. Fitzhenry chipped over the top. There was no cover defence home except for the fullback. He was able to come up with the ball, and a good ball and all tackle by Silva nullified it.
Sharp trying to take it away from dummy half, but wrapped up over there by Greentree, his opposite number. So the Parramatta defence, which was very, very good in the major semi-final when they played East. There's a nice kick through, though. Stewart the man, and it'll find touch just about on the quarter line. East replacement coming on. Burris it is this time. There'll be a rearrangement here. Here's Burris. As the scrum packs down just about on the quarter line. Finally, the field is Ruggles, the 5'8". Away from the back of the scrum and cutting right across field is Bell. Now he gets it away nicely. This time to Farah. Farah's going to be pulled down 10 metres short of that line, and once again that gap around the scrum, around the rucks. Taking away this time is the block forward over there in Bartlett. They feed it away. Still going nicely, Parramatta. Will he kick? Now he decides to go to ground with it. And a good run over there by Shepherd. So back over in centre field, they keep it going. Parramatta with the pressure on now. Bell pulled out 8 metres out from that line. And a penalty coming up here. And it goes against Burris.
This might have been the best thing that could happen for Eastern Suburbs, really. They were under all sorts of threat, and a try looking imminent for Parramatta. You can see the referee had no option but to give the penalty, and it gives Fitzhenry another chance to add the extras.
So there's referee McCallum, and Fitzhenry takes the ball back. There's a few of the girls outside. There's jazz bands outside. There's all sorts of activity out there. And this is what it's like inside as the crowd builds up for the big one this afternoon. They've been coming in since 9 o'clock this morning. They've had plenty of entertainment, and there'll be a lot more throughout the day. That's where the entertainment area is, and there'll be a lot of entertainers out here this afternoon. They're probably out there blowing up those 51,000 balloons that'll be released a little bit later. So back with the act. Oh, there's a bit of action, all right. I think we'll stay with Fitzhenry this time as he lines up for the shot at goal. Successful with 2 from 2 so far. Fitzhenry on his way again. Probably the most difficult one he's had, and he's failed on this occasion. So it still remains East lead by 6-4. But he's knocked it on and in goal there.
No, I don't think he touched it. It had gone dead in goal before he...
Okay, at this stage it's East leading Parramatta by 6 points to 4.
When the world superstars gather in Seoul, we'll be represented by the very best.
John, the sun's shining. It's turning out well.
Well, it is, Graham, isn't it? Like, we've been very fortunate in the last few years. I guess if we can get through the afternoon without the weather, that'll top everything off, won't it, for a great grand final.
Now, they tell me today is an eclipse of the sun. Roman stories have it from the past. This is when warriors put down their swords, come back and fight another day. That doesn't mean we're headed for a draw after extra time, does it?
Well, Graham, I don't really mind, you know. I think it'll be fun. A few of you guys will, because you're all off to Seoul, but then we'll have to do it without you on Thursday night or sometime.
Hope the day goes well for you.
I'm sure it will, and I'd like to thank everyone, all the supporters of Rugby League who have got behind the game again this year. It's been a magnificent Winfield Cup, and naturally Network 10's coverage has been excellent for us, so it's certainly going to be a great day and topping off a great year.
So back here with the action at the Sydney Football Stadium. Eastern Suburbs doing everything to lose the ball. Parramatta have got it, so it's Fitzhenry away from dummy half. 6-4 is the lead for East at this stage. Oh, coming through is Farah again. He's still going as Farah. Underneath the post, and Parramatta hit the front. Well, we spoke about their defence falling apart. It really did this time.
Well, this try had been coming for some 5 minutes because the Eastern Suburbs defence just hasn't been up to scratch in that period, and they've also been making mistakes with the ball. Farah was held here. He was gone for all intents and purposes, but he just pulled out of a soft tackle and went over under the black dot.
All right, so there's the try scorer coming back, Danny Farah. Well, Peter Sterling, you'll be happy for that one to come by.
Yeah, great individual effort from Danny Farah, who probably has been one of Parramatta's best players. A crucial mistake by, I think it was the East fullback from that scrum. They should have just held the ball to the 6 tackles and kicked it down the other end, but a crucial mistake inside his own quarter.
Yeah, Rod Silver losing the ball on that occasion. He's been one of the backbones of this Eastern Suburbs side. He and Bush and also Stewart, but they haven't got it together out there today, and that's a first try of the match coming up with just 4 minutes of this first half remaining. So it's an easy shot for Fitzhenry to convert the try. He's on his way. He does it all right. So that makes it Parramatta 10 and Eastern Suburbs are 6. So play coming back onto the halfway mark. So East will really have to regroup after that one and get back into it, because both Farah and Bell, the two halves, have been really getting into it over the last 15 minutes or so and finding quite a few holes up the centre. There's the Tiger outside. He's getting ready for a big one. There'll be plenty of Tiger supporters out here today. You can see the crowd starting to build up just the far side of the field there. And here it is, really thick as we get into some of the stand areas. Supporters of Canterbury. That bloke hasn't been on the diet for sure. He's been celebrating already by the looks of things. So here's the kick-off, and it's going to be taken back there by Fitzhenry again. He'll run it up, but coming into the tackle is Burris. He'll be bowled over just short of the quarter line. Dumping half up there is Gearside. So just under 3 minutes remaining in this first half. And Parramatta finally gaining the ascendancy by 10 points to 6. So it's Greentree as dummy half. Knocked down this time. Going out after it was Georgianis. But it's Parramatta retaining possession. Away from dummy half, moving around over there was Collins. Big tackle over the top there by Culnane to halt possession, rather progress. Green trees swinging it around. Going to ground with it was Bell. Slowly getting to his feet is Bell. Green tree will swing it wide. This is Farah. Farah with a pass outside. Going up there was Bartlett. Bartlett still going now, puts the boot underneath it. Going back there this time is Lindsay Ferris. He'll take it okay. Running up the centre, still going Lindsay. Nice work. He's up to the halfway mark. Working around, got away from the next one. He's still going. Where's the support? None at home. He's there with himself. And he's put down 25 metres out from the Parramatta line. But a nice run there by the Eastern Suburbs wingers. Silver away from dummy half. Georgianis gets it away to Bush getting involved from that wing. Bush will be put over 20 metres out now. Away from dummy half this time. Working his way through up there is Sharp. So it's Georgiana, swings it back inside to Silver. Silver's trying to step up. He's only 7 or 8 metres out now. Lost the ball there, and it's going to be a penalty for East. Knocked out of his hands. It was Counternack on that occasion, the offender. Let's have a look.
Yeah, so we can see as he gets up to play the ball is ripped out, but both sides, when they're put under pressure in defence, they just come up with missed tackles, and that makes me believe that possession is the key to this one, just playing out your 6.
So it'll be Stewart again to line up with this one, dead set in front of the posts. 1 from 1 for Stewart. Converting the try, which was scored by Dean Lindsay, their winger. So coming into the half-time break, it would be a very healthy 2 points here for Eastern Suburbs to pick up. They'd be only trailing by the couple. Stewart lining up with it, and there's a shot of what's happening outside that car park. Have a look at it. Chock-a-block at this stage. Crowds on their way into the Sydney Football Stadium for the big one this afternoon. Of course, coming away commercial-free here on the 10 Network. There's the kick. No doubt about it. Stewart puts it through. It's 2 from 2 now. And we have Parramatta leading by 10 points to 8. By the way, welcome to viewers through Coffs Harbour and Newcastle who joined us some time back now. We're here in the Under-21s President's Cup, and as you can see, the Sydney Football Stadium building up and up and up. On way to a maximum crowd here this afternoon for the grand final. There's no need to restart. It is half-time here at the Sydney Football Stadium. The half-time lead for Parramatta is 10 points to 8. Back at the Sydney Football Stadium, and online there we have the Venetians who are entertaining the crowd at the half-time break here in this match, which Parramatta lead by 10 points to 8. All right, outside the ground here at the moment, once again Graham Hughes with some Balmain supporters.
Well, as we're counting down to the big one, the grand final, have a look at all the colour of grand final. I tell you what, it pays to be crazy. Judy, how did you manage all these outfits?
We spent a bit of time and a bit of effort, but we got it all together, and we turned up today. We come from Manly, and we're great Balmain supporters.
Oh, well, I don't have to ask who's going to win. One-eyed Tiger fan, Tigers to win, it says it all.
Up the Tigers! Up the Tigers!
Yeah, up the Tigers. I reckon Tiger supporters outnumber Canterbury 2-1. People still streaming in here, as you can see, outside the stadium. I wonder what it's like out at the Canterbury Leagues Club. Milton O'Brien.
Being at the Canterbury Leagues Club, well, you got to go for the Bulldogs, don't you, fellas, eh? All right, who's your favourite player?
Terry Lamb.
Terry Lamb, why is that?
Oh, he's a great player, buddy. I think he'll blitz them. Actually, I reckon he's the greatest 5'8" in the world, Terry Lamb.
All right, all you guys go down to Belmore Oval and watch the Bulldogs play?
Yeah, all the time. All the time.
He's the toughest of the all.
Never can listen, never can listen.
All right, what time did you play get here?
10 o'clock. 10 o'clock.
When the doors opened, eh?
Yeah, exactly.
And what time are you going to leave?
Hey, we're not leaving. Tomorrow morning.
Tomorrow morning.
When the cup comes, then we leave, mate.
Both hoping for a Bulldog win today?
Oh, naturally. Some that just can't go in the other way.
I think the only way Canterbury will get
get beat if they don't turn up. They'll lose on a forfeit. There's the money. I'll produce as much as they want. If they want to back Balmain, I'll be there today.
That's right, Andrew Farrell.
Andrew
He's
Farrell.
going to win it for us.
Andrew Farrell is the word. The tip is for Mad Mick, but the Bulldogs. Get on the Bulldogs, fellas.
Welcome back. Grand final day in 1988. The crowd still streaming in behind me here just outside the members' entrance to the City Football Stadium. What a day it's going to be, and what a day it will be for Canterbury if Steve Mortimer manages to play a part in the second half. At the moment, Ian Maurice is with the famous Mortimer football family.
Mr. and Mrs. Mortimer, the mother and father of the famous Mortimer footballing family are here. Welcome to Sydney again.
Thanks very much, Ian. That's very nice of you.
First time to the stadium?
First time to the stadium. It doesn't impress me, but yet I understand that it is quite nice inside.
It certainly is that. I guess mixed feelings for you because it may well be Stephen's last grand final.
Yes, I think it probably will be.
Do you think you'll get a run?
I don't know. It's hard to pick, isn't it?
Yeah.
No, I don't really know. But we're going to be here in case he does, because all the family's going to be here. And if you hear a big cheer go up when he does run on, you'll know why.
Okay. This is the grandson, Stephen's eldest boy?
Yes, that's Andrew.
Andrew, is Dad going to get a run today, do you think? You think he will? Yeah, I think he might too. All right, there they are. Mr. and Mrs. Mortimer, good luck to you.
Thank you very much.
Okay.
Yes, Mr. and Mrs. Mortimer, what a great family in the world of rugby league they've produced. Plenty of entertainment still out there in the field, City Football Stadium. The Venetians going through their paces, entertaining the crowd, just waiting and expecting a really great match of the 1988 Grand Final. We're still counting it down to the big one. We're going to take a break, then be back with more from the Sydney Football Stadium. Welcome back, and what a sight that is. The most beautiful harbour city in the world. Some yachtsmen out there enjoying the brilliant sunshine and plenty of wind as we come back across to the new Sydney Football Stadium, 1988, the first grand final here at the new ground. And just outside the members' entrance now, joining me is the world champ himself, Jeff Fennick, and his trainer, John Lewis. Jeffrey, which way are you leaning this afternoon?
Well, I think the main thing is Steve Mortimer, and if he's on the bench, I tip Balmain. If he was in the starting lineup, I'd be right behind Carey, but now I'm with Balmain because Turvey's on the bench.
I better let the world know, Johnny Lewis, that I know you are a Canterbury man through and through.
Yes, Graham, I think they'll come up trumps today. I agree with Jeffrey, but I'd love to see Stevie there from the start, but I'm sure that we all know the Phil Gills pulled the right rein having him there, and I'm sure that we'll see him out there to make sure of a Canterbury victory.
I know this is one sporting occasion where you both get a chance to relax, so I hope you enjoy your day.
Thanks,
all right, there they are. Jeff Fennick and Johnny Lewis as we now go back to the field for all the second half action.
All right, teams coming out on the field, and you notice a couple of changes coming up. A half-time lead, Parramatta over East by 10 points to 8. There's one change we have got so far was number 19, Joe Bartolo, is on the field for Mark Watson. Bartolo for Watson, and he's out there at the moment. I also notice another one there, number 15 is on the field. And that's Steve Day. So Day is into the pack, I would say, and we'll work out who's left at this stage. In a moment. So he's out on the field. We're waiting now for Eastern Suburbs. There they go, coming onto the field. And Peter Sterling at the half-time break. Not a lot between them score-wise. How do you see it?
No, I don't think either coach would have been too impressed with their respective teams' performance. What they will have stressed at half-time is the importance of field position and ball control. And an area I thought both teams were pretty vulnerable were after a change or a mistake. And that's an area they're going to have to show more urgency.
So we'll wait now for play to restart with Corey Stewart, the centre for Eastern Suburbs, to start the play rolling. So this is the second half now of the President's Cup match. The under-21s, Parramatta and East. The first of our three finals here today, culminating, of course, at 3 o'clock with the big one between Canterbury and Balmain. There's referee Greg McCallum checking with both teams, blows the whistle, and away we go as Stewart puts it up nice and high, drives it deep down into Parramatta territory, but it'll be taken straight away by their fullback Fitzgerald. Puts the ground right on the quarter line. Away from dummy half, Green Tree getting the pass outside. Taking it up there was Day. So now it's Green Tree again. Back over to Bell. Back Bell and Farah. First half's here for Parramatta. There's a kick through by Fitzhenry. Going to be taken over there by Bush for East. Bush getting it up to a couple of metres short of the halfway mark now. So another strong run there, this time by Deacon, the centre, working it away. He's 10 metres inside Parramatta territory. Getting up to play there was James. He's up there as dummy half this time. Getting it back to Georgianis. Out over there to Deacon. Deacon going to be wrapped up in the tackle coming about from Bartlett. Away from dummy half, Georgianis puts it up nice and high. Fitzhenry's coming across underneath it, jumps up, takes it. Well done. Knocked to the ground of the tackle of James, but took it well under quite a deal of pressure. A little bit injured in that one too. Slow to the feet. But he will play it. Running away from dummy half this time. Over there is Bartolo. The Parramatta with East getting up fairly quickly on that occasion. So they'll run it out. This time it's Rod Collins, the captain of the Parramatta side. A narrow lead for them of 10-8. Fitzhenry with a kick through. Carrying back to Bush. Strong young winger, this fellow. Straight ahead, but going to be knocked over. Woods getting in underneath him. Bartolo gets it across to Silver up from the fullback posse. Good attacking player, this fellow, so obviously they're going to look for him to liven things up a little bit in there. Georgianis put to the ground, though, and the tackle over there from Steve Day. James lost. It'll be a Parramatta ball, will it? No, the referee playing a knock-on in there. So the scrum 25 metres out from Parramatta line. Having to feed will be Bell, the halfback. Referee McCallum having quite a chat to both front rows. Down they go. Still not happy though, straightening it up a bit. Bell quite eager to feed, which he does now. It'll be an East ball.
Good push there from Eastern Suburbs, and they're the sorts of things that can turn a big game like this in your favour.
All right, getting it back over there this time to Hardy. Hardy put down 20 metres out from that line now. Dummy half is Burris. Swinging it away this time to Dart. Dart charging up and eventually put down some 7 metres out from that line now. Can East capitalise from this? They take it up. Still going, but only just going to be pulled down. Plenty of men to burn out here on the left if they want to run it this way, but no, they get it back to Stewart. Stewart going to be wrapped up. Final tackle. Still a couple of men over. Out wide. Will they play it there? They do. Georgianis kicks through. Going back to scoop it up in the in-goal area back there for Parramatta is Shepherd. Well, they did have a few men over for the couple of plays prior to that, but decided to take it through. But there's a kick across.
It was a good kick, this one. It was always going to stop in goal and put Parramatta under pressure, so they had to take it dead themselves. And this gives Eastern Suburbs another 6 tackles in a good attacking position.
So we'll wait for the drop out from underneath the goal mouth. There it goes. Fitzhenry driving it upfield. Carrying back towards Georgianis. He runs it up, but eventually knocked over by Jason Bell. So away from the play the ball, back over there to Beecraft for the penalty.
They've done it again, East. They're a much bigger and stronger side than Parramatta, but they don't play with the same amount of discipline. They're making unforced mistakes that they don't need to make.
So now it'll be Fitzhenry coming up, and he'll kick for touch. So at the moment, it's Parramatta with a lead of 10 points to 8. When the first 5 minutes have gone, and this Fitzhenry breaking through, gets it around the corner nicely. Parramatta going, no, they're almost getting through, but eventually going to the ground in the tackle over there will be Bartolo. So they swing it back inside. Taking it up there is Gearside. Gearside, 10 metres out from the line. Dummy half is Farrow. Farrow working his way through, now sends it back the other way. Greentree, he'll be wrapped up though. Dummy half is Catanak, big chance for Parramatta. Dummies and tries to find a way through, but there's 3 Eastern Suburbs players come in to wrap him up. Greentree, Bell, got it away nicely, cutting his way through and going over for the try will be Chris King. Over underneath the post, and Parramatta extend their lead now. It's 14 points to 8.
Eastern Suburbs paid the ultimate price here for a mistake. There was nothing much in this. They had good field position, a great ball there by the halfback Bell, on there to the number 10 King, and he's a big tall fellow. Looked like he was going to reach out, but in the end just had to fall over.
But Jason Bell started to serve as authority on this game. Two defenders, popped a nice ball to Chris King, and it looks like 6 points. Very important stage for Parramatta.
Over he goes for the try underneath is Chris King. So Parramatta is right, Pete. Coming at this stage in the second half, they can open up a lead of 14-8. The kick right in front makes it 16-8, and that really puts the pressure back onto the Roosters from there. So we wait now for Fitzhenry. Fitzhenry today successful with 3 from 4. And shouldn't have any trouble with this one. Dead set right in front of the post. So a great start here for Parramatta after East did have their chances. They had Parramatta down there with 6 to go. There's the kick, it's successful. So Parramatta lead by 16 points to 8. Back to the halfway mark. This is the first of 3 grand finals here today at the Sydney Football Stadium. And of course, don't forget our main match today will be commercial free when we get to the first grade, but just prior to that you'll have one of the biggest entertainment extravaganzas you've seen for many a day. Celebrating the 80 years of rugby league, leading into some of our Olympic heroes. It's all here on the 10 network throughout Australia, and of course our telecast of the main match going to countries overseas. So that's Shepherd taking it up. Away from dummy half, Bill getting it outside. That'll be Day about to play it. Back over there to Katnak. Katnak 30 metres out from the Parramatta line. Back to Fitzhenry. Big, strong kick from this fellow. Bush is back there, bounces away from it. He'll take it right back into the in-goal area. Matter of fact, just over the dead ball line. Big kick there by Fitzhenry. Too big as it worked out.
Well, it shows us there's a bit of breeze up there because that must have travelled all of 70 metres.
A nice lead for Parramatta, 16-8 at this stage. 27 minutes of this second half remaining. There they are. They're getting thicker and thicker in density out there. And some of those upper parts of the stand starting to fill up well and truly too. So we're working up towards a capacity crowd here, the very first of the Sydney Football Stadium. We've had big crowds in the matches up to date in the final series, but today's the big one, and the crowd are well and truly responding to that. So that's Darts. Couple of metres short of the halfway mark. Sharp from dummy half. Georgiadis kicks through. Fitzhenry will be back there. Bounces up nicely for him too. Immediately puts it back again. He's going to, if there's any wind up there, he's going to give it a try. And there it is, rolling end on end. And putting the pressure back on East. Back into the in-goal area is Silver. Silver straight ahead. Can't get away. Firstly, diving at him over there was Woods, and then eventually Greentree finished him off. So Bush to dummy half. And East with a long way to go from there. So it's good play here from Parramatta, keeping the pressure on when you've got a lead as they have at the moment of 16 points to 8. You might as well keep it onto them. So it's Sharp getting it outside. Playing it up there will be Hardy. Then Culnane. He's 10 metres short of halfway. Sharp to Georgiadis. There's the little kick through. He's looking for Stewart. But there's Fitzhenry to take it. Tackled over there by Stewart. Parramatta still midway between the quarter and halfway, down inside their own territory. Working across field is Bartolo. To Fitzhenry. Steps around Sharp. Doesn't get away from Georgiadis. Collins, then away over there to the lock forward in Bartlett, who puts in a kick, and that's going to find touch. Nice work. So it's all Parramatta in the second half.
Their tactics are good too. They're using their kicking game to get good field position down in Eastern Suburbs end of the field. Then they're tackling well and making it extremely hard for East to get up the other end.
It's a long, hard slog from down that way, isn't it? Energy sapping stuff. So we wait for the scrum to pack down. Georgiadis to feed for Eastern Suburbs. Referee McCallum not happy with the scrum. I'm not surprised, and we've got across field off that mark. Now they go down again. Georgiadis works the blind side. Can't go too far, though. Bartolo comes in with the tackle. 3 Parramatta players going in on that occasion to put down Sharp. Strong defence from Parramatta coming through again. Over there to Dart. Away from dummy half, Georgialis, but a big tackle coming a little bit too much there from Greentree. Going to be penalised.
Just a bit of over-enthusiasm there from Greentree at marker. He didn't hold his position till the ball had cleared the ruck. He ducked around and he's given away here whatever distance can be kicked, plus 6 tackles.
So now it'll be Stewart. Takes plenty of time. Nothing ruffles this fellow. And he's going to find touch some 9 metres short of the halfway mark. So Bush bringing the ball across. Barry Russell, the Rothmans winner in Cronulla, taking in the grand final. So Deacon, no chance of getting it away. The ball knocked back, eventually going to be picked up back there by James. From Eastern Suburbs, obviously intently watching the Roosters under 21s. Not looking too good for them at the moment, with Parramatta's lead of 16 points to 8. But I guess there's 23 minutes remaining. Still down getting the pass back inside.
They'll need every one of them.
Yeah, they sure will. Well, they haven't seen much of, well, they've just made it inside of the Parramatta half. I suppose you can live in hope there, can't you? Coming half is Sharp. He'll send it back. Oh, it's going to be knocked on over there this time by Burris.
Well, the story of the game for East, they just haven't got their act together at all. They're making mistakes that they don't need to, and Parramatta capitalising.
So at this stage, we wait for the scrum to tack down just inside East territory. 16 to 8, the Parramatta lead. This is Parra again. Loses the ball. It's going to be picked up by Bush for East. Dummy half waiting in for it will be James. Now this time it's Sharp. Sharp running up over the halfway mark, doesn't get far. King is the tackler. He was the last try scorer for Parramatta. Did it well too. That's Burris. Sharp. Georgianis. They swing it back the other way. Coming through as Deacon, still going Deacon. Unloads the pass away to Georgianis. He'll be pulled down 25 metres out now from the Parramatta line. It is the final tackle, so Stewart running through now, puts it up. Fitzhenry there again under a heap of pressure. Players going in all directions, but he'll end up with it again.
Yes, you think that vary their kicking game, East. They've put the ball up on a number of occasions, but each time it's been in the vicinity of Fitzhenry, and he's coming up with them every time.
So it'll be Collins to play it, the Parramatta captain. Running around over there is Kavanagh. Doesn't get far, but going to play it is Shepherd. Running around quite solidly there is Bartlett again. Final tackle coming up. Fitzhenry, he's been worked pretty heavily down there today. Kick through the bush again. So the East winger starts to run it out. Working up towards the halfway mark. Put to the ground right on halfway. Dummy half is Silva, the fullback. He works across field. Chased, put to the ground over there by King. Sharp. Well, nowhere to go in there. Kavanagh said, thanks very much. I'll take you. Georgianis. Outside there to James. Not making much headway, Reese. Georgialis again. Back over to Dart. 10 metres inside Parramatta territory. Final tackle. So the kick through by Burris, and it's going to find touch. Just got away there at the death from Michael Shepherd. Here it is again.
Well, this was a variety to the kicking. They got in behind the defensive line and found touch, but to capitalise on that, what they've got to do now is come up with a scrum against the head.
Well, they did it in the first half, but lost possession not long after that. So here's the scrum. Just inside the Parramatta quarter. Phil Gearside leaving for Parramatta. Going on will be Greg Drake. Drake for Gearside. There he is. Phil Gearside leaving the field. That's Collins. Collins still going. Put to the ground right on the halfway mark. There he is. Coming on is Greg Drake. So Parramatta. They have a lead of 16 points to 10. 19 minutes remaining in this under-23, under-21 grand final. That's Farah. Got away from the first tackle. Couldn't get away from the next one, though. Down the ground of the tackle of Hardy. Here's the kick through to Bush. Bush playing it now. Georgianis away from dummy half. Nowhere to go. He seemed to have lost all direction now.
That's what they need more of. People that will take the ball forward and then put some support in behind them. But they can't get that at the moment. It looks like a well-disciplined Parramatta defensive line to me.
Sharp away from dummy half, but it's going to be put to the ground on the tackle up there by Drake. Silver is the dummy half. Georgianis. Going to be lost over there by Burris again. Second time he's lost it. He's not happy with himself banging the ground, but it's a bit too late for that. There's a $500 award from the State Bank for the man of the match in this game. Scrum it back down with Jason Bell to feed. There it goes. Whole scrum screwing around, but it'll come out to Farah. Farah got it away to Fitzhenry. Fitzhenry straightens up. Put to the ground, though, in Hardy's tackle. Farah back inside to Bell. Greentree will come up as dummy half. That's Drake. Tried to get outside over there to Canadak, but he lost it. Not the best of passes, so it's an east ball. Georgianis, he's really tried this fellow. Now coming outside to Deacon. Sharp goes himself. Looked outside, was going to use Calname, but decided to hang on to it. Deacon. Georgianis. Burris. Final tackle's on its way. Oh, not the best of kicks by Georgianis. He'll end up with it, sends it back to Stewart. Then Burris losing it again. Stewart has to leave it go. The referee will play a knock on. 16 and a half minutes remaining in this match. Parramatta with a good lead now, 16 to 8. And East look as though they're well and truly out of it from here. So that is Jason Bell. He's been one of the real goers in this Parramatta side, together with his 5'8" and Farah. Collins, 18 years of age, the captain of the side. Fitzhenry to Drake. Drake racked up though. Beecraft coming at him. And also over there is James. So Fitzhenry into the back line. Farah gets it away, but it rolled away and went rolling into touch. Bartolo couldn't get near it.
Playing the wrong game at the moment, Parramatta, aren't they? You can see here they're shifting the ball when they're deep inside their own half, and they don't have to do that. They're in front on the scoreboard. They've got everything going for them. They should be looking for a bit more security.
Well, I guess at this stage, Peter Sterling, any Parramatta supporters out there, including yourself, would be on pretty good terms with yourself.
Yeah, I still think they're looking pretty strong, but I agree with Billy. You know, really, they just got to drive the ball down the other end and tackle for the next 15 minutes. This is the crucial time. If that 3 weeks off is going to count, it's going to count now.
Silver sending it back inside to Deacon. Deacon put down, though, by Greentree. This is Sharp. Georgianis. Swings it outside to Calnane. Georgianis again. Over then to Dart. Dart up over the quarter line. Final tackle. So let's have a look as Sharp sends it out to Georgianis. Puts it up high. They're coming out after it. Fitzhenry's underneath it. He won't get it this time. Deacon comes away with a penalty. Parramatta. At this stage, we have Parramatta with a lead of 16 points to 8.
Tonight on The Comedy Company.
It's time for tonight's Keno numbers. There you are. We hope you are lucky tonight.
There's more madness, more fun.
You know, and like they always say, I'll have school cop.
So back here at the Sydney Football Stadium, it's still, at this stage, 11 and a half minutes remaining in the under-21s grand final, and it's a lead for Parramatta of 16 points to 8, and they're putting East under a bit of pressure here again. So back over there to Bell. Ooh, going to be lost on this occasion. Diving at it over there with Steve Day, but he eventually gets it. Working around this time is Woods.
Well, East are still missing first-up tackles, and to me, it looks Parramatta look as if they've got another try or two left in them.
Getting it back inside, that's Shepherd. Still going, Farah. Away from dummy half. Fitzhenry sends it outside. Cadillac going to ground with it. Final tackle away from dummy half. Farah going for the line. He's over. Farah is in. And so Parramatta certainly wrap it up now. If there was any doubt, 16 points to 8.
Well, we thought that East might have finished tied, and they certainly have. Farah did it easily there, just pushed over from dummy half for a soft try.
Yeah, second try for Danny Farah. He's had a big game, and that's just good strength there from a 5'8". He's had a fine game.
So that makes it 20 points to 8. Danny Farah, 2 tries in the match, as Peter Sterling said. And Parramatta certainly reeling away with this one now. There's their Parramatta supporters. Certainly very, very happy with themselves. From a first-grade point of view, it's been disappointing this year for them, but they can get some consolation out of this one here today. So I pitch Fitzhenry to have the shot at goal. 4 from 5 tells the story for him. So here's Fitzhenry lining up with this one. Straight in front of the posts. Into our final 10 minutes of the President's Cup. Some very promising young players here in this Parramatta lineup. There it goes. So Parramatta's lead is 22 points to 8. Back to the halfway mark. I guess, Peter Sterling, you'll be looking forward to seeing some of these young blokes up there in the top ranks in the not too far distant future.
Yeah, Billy, it certainly augurs well for the future of Parramatta. I think you've seen 3 or 4 players from the 21 side who really will press for first grade selection next year, and I think will cement spots. So, you know, it looks good.
Halfback looks like a good player, Pete. He could easily be a first grader.
Well, he's probably the best junior prospect I've seen come out of junior football, which is as good a rap as I can give him. You've seen Jason Bell play well today. You'll see him play very well at high company in the not too distant future.
I guess you're happy he didn't appear on the scene a couple of years back.
Well, yeah, I suppose so, but he's just got all the skills. You know, he looks like a natural footballer, and he's got a good temperament, good speed, and here he goes again.
Yes, he's on his way as Bell coming up towards the quarter line, looking for support. Can he find some? No, he can't. He'll throw the pass, but he's sent up with it. Nice break by Bell once again. He must have heard us talking about him, giving him a rap, because he turned it on again. But then looked for support, tried to get away to the backup, but pass going straight to Eastern Suburbs. So now it's East running it out. It's Culnane. Sharp up his coming half. Deacon. Rather, Lindsay on that occasion. Deacon now. Kick coming through over there by Mullins, who's on for Easts. Picked up by Woods. Woods sending the pass away by Bartolo. Bartolo about to play at 25 metres out from the east line. Running it up there will be Bartlett. Almost to the quarter. Greentree, Drake, Fitzhenry. Out to Farah again. Coming up there is Drake. Sends a pass back inside. Parramatta putting on the pressure again. Greentree to Bell. Bell stepping his way through, and Bell's over underneath the post. So that's 26-6 and Parramatta running away with it over East here now.
Parramatta have got some great individual players, particularly their two halves. Here's the half-back, young Field. He steps firstly off the right foot, then back off the left foot to beat a defender. It was plain sailing from there, even though he had to go through two fairly feeble tackles.
The man we were just talking about, that's just pure brilliance. I know the East defence is getting tired, but he showed all his skills off both feet under the posts.
Certainly had the fullback Silver for East in all sorts of trouble as he's running towards him. So good work there by Bell. One try for him and two for Farah. So if we're talking about those halves, that's been the secret of the attack here for Parramatta today. So Fitzhenry lines up again. The sign tells the story. Certainly the scoreboard does at 26 points to 8. Fitzhenry lines up again. There's the East team in the in-goal area. Obviously their chances for this year have gone, but of course to make the grand final, I guess that's got to be something, and that side says it too. Kick by Fitzhenry is successful. So now Parramatta have a lead of 28 points to 8.
This little piggy opened a savings account, but didn't get daily interest. This little piggy opened a savings account, but got disgruntled by the fees.
Well, here's Stewart attempting to convert a try for East. Show you that in a minute, but that one is successful, so that makes it now 28 points to 14. 28 to 14.
And here was the try by Eastern Suburbs after good lead-up work by the winger Bush. It was Steve Deacon that took the ball one off the ruck, beat some fairly ordinary tackles. I suppose it's difficult to be grim in defence when it's not necessary, and across he goes for an Eastern Suburbs 4-pointer.
All righty, so the conversion comes up, and it's 28 points to 14, Parramatta lead. So Fitzhenry to restart play. Just over 2 minutes remaining in this match. I don't think anyone could take anything away from the Parramatta win here today.
Well, 3 outings against Eastern Suburbs for 3 wins, and they've got into the 20s each time, so they're worthy winners of the competition.
Well, the minor premiers have gone through to take the grand final, and it's only a matter of East playing it out from here. Minor, we have our Man of the Match award winner coming up shortly. $500 presented by the State Bank. Little kick through there. Following after it was Mullins. They've lost it. Fitzhenry ends up with it. Parramatta in possession. 8 metres inside East territory. Dummy half is Bell. Sends it outside over there to Shepherd. Dummy half is Greentree. Parramatta taking their time. Why not? That's Drake. Midway between the quarter and halfway down in East territory. Peter Sterling will be back with us for the A-grade match later this afternoon. Graham Hughes will be down there with us shortly for the presentations following this match. Then, of course, the entertainment continues. The football continues. There's a drop shot at goal. Waved away. All part of the big build-up on grand final day for Winfield Cup 1988. Parramatta 28, East 14. Taking it up there was Yates. Now Culnane. Into the final 30 seconds. Going to lose it, East. Swinging it back. Cutting his way up there will be Beecraft. Beecraft bowled over 30 metres out from the east line. Sharp from dummy half. They move it out wide. This is Stewart. Stewart up over the halfway. Little kick through, but it bounces away from him, and Bell will end up with it. And that'll be coming up to full time. I don't think they'll even be able to play the ball. There it is. All over. And full time sees Parramatta defeat East by 28 to 14 and win the President's Cup grand final here at the Sydney Football Stadium. So worthy winners Parramatta. President Cup premiers. Cheer girls here, really into it. And why not? Good win for Parramatta. They led at the half-time break by 10 to 8. the 5'8" from Parramatta, Danny Farah, and he'll be with Graham Hughes shortly.
All right, well, Danny Farah, our man of the match, a great victory by Parramatta. They were strongly fancied. The side put up a remarkable performance, Danny.
Yeah, I think the heat had a lot to do with it. They're a lot bigger than us. But all the boys play ball. It's great. Yep.
Great feeling for your coach, Bob O'Reilly.
It is. It's great. So I think it's his first one as a coach. So it's great, yeah.
All right, well, from the State Bank, State Saver Savings Account, $500. Well played.
Thanks a lot. Thanks, Graham.
I'll let you go back and join your side. There he is, Danny Farah, our man of the match, and a very victorious Parramatta side. Hasn't been a big year for the club, of course, in the first grade, but a great performance by their under-21s. As Peter Sterling said, it certainly is going to augur well for the future. Some remarkable talent there in the halves, Danny Farah, Jason Bell. And, as I said before, outstanding performance by their coach, Bob O'Reilly. Some talent coming on for all that Parramatta army out west, waiting for the stars of the future. Handshakes all round from the Parramatta committee. Some great displays as they're coming over to the sideline to thank their army of supporters up in the stand. A bit of a wave there. Great performance, only letting Eastern Suburbs in for their second try inside the last 3 minutes. Well deserved. What a strong win, 28-14 to the Eels. All right, well, let's go back to the dais now for the presentations to the under-21 champions of 1988. There's the chopper shot looking down on the Sydney Football Stadium. Marvellous day as the sun is shining brightly here in Sydney. Very, very warm conditions to be playing. As Danny Farah, the under-21 man of the match, said, it took its toll on the big men in the Eastern Suburbs side. Let's now go to the introductions, to the presentations of the under-21 team of the year. Let's go to Tim Webster.
Lovely to have you up here, and welcome to the grand final, and I hope you enjoy the day.
Thanks a lot.
Barry Russell. Well, ladies and gentlemen, let's get the East players up here and give them a big hand when they come up to receive their punions. As the runners-up in 1988, the Roosters from Eastern Suburbs. Come on, boys. Led up by their skipper, Bill Dart.
Eastern Suburbs team, they did well to make their way into the grand final. Certainly worthy competitors in this one. They came up against a much stronger Parramatta outfit. For them, the disappointment, with so many good years of rugby league ahead of them.
It's been a great competition all the way through the year, if you followed it, between all the sides in the under-21.
Receiving their trophies, the Looters medal from the chairman of the Australian and New South Wales Rugby League, Ken Arthurson.
Almost destined to be in the grand final.
Plenty of future for the Roosters too. Russell Fairfax taking over Eastern Suburbs in 1989. He's going to have plenty of talent to work with.
The Roosters.
Same as we mentioned with this Parramatta side.
Runners up for 88 from Eastern Suburbs.
Good reception from the good crowd here at the stadium.
Touch judges
for the Eastern Suburbs Roosters. Now the presentations to be made to Greg McCallum, the referee, and to his touch judges. The most difficult job, surely, in rugby league, that man in the middle. So much pressure on him.
New South Wales Rugby League, Ken Arthurson.
Now some words from Mr. Ken Arthurson, the chairman.
This year is the first year that the President's Cup competition has replaced the under-23, and as evidenced by the standard of football we saw out today, you'll agree with me it's been a resounding success. Commiserations to Eastern Suburbs. Although they were beaten today, they did extremely well to make the grand final, but I don't think there's any doubt in anybody's mind that the most consistent team this year, and easily the best team on the day, Parramatta, were worthy premiers. In congratulating the captain of the side, Rob Collins, and his team, I would just like to take this opportunity to say how glad I was for one person in particular, a man who was a very great international for Australia, who coached the team, and his first year as a winner, a coach, and that is the Bear, Mr. Bob O'Reilly. Ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of the New South Wales Rugby League and everybody in the stadium, I take this opportunity of congratulating Parramatta. It was a great victory, won by a very great club. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Ken. Okay, Skipper, last up you come, Eels. Can't decide which one wants to come up first. Ladies and gentlemen, the premiers in President's Cup 1988, the Eels from Parramatta. Players receiving their winners' pewters from Jim Long, the New South Wales manager of Winfield 25s. And here's the skipper, Rod Collins. Rod, you want to have a quick word before you pick the cup up? Bobby, I know you're on your way up to collect your winners' medal. Congratulations, great feeling for you.
That's terrific. I just said a while ago, I came here, I was at the cricket ground about 7 or 8 years ago, and I thought that was a tremendous feeling, and having something to do with these young blokes today is just as good.
Well, you've got a lap of honour ahead of you. Well done.
I won't be doing it. I'll help them along, yeah. Thanks, mate.
There he is, Bob O'Reilly. And there's the cup.
Tonight, travel with Jack Absalom to the southern...
Welcome back, marvellous sight as we look down from our chopper, the Network 10 chopper, down over the Sydney Football Stadium. As the Parramatta side, the champions in the under-21s, continue their victorious lap of honour. Great reception they're getting from the crowd. Marvellous performance by them. And what a feeling it is to know after all those many, many weeks of hard work, they come out at the end of the football season, the champions of 1988. Well, from this magnificent stadium here in Sydney, the Sydney Football Stadium, let's take you now live to where 16 days of adventure are all set to begin. On September 16, of course, we're talking about, on 17, the games of the 24th Olympiad, the Olympic Games, the Summer Games. And joining us live from Seoul, Bruce McAvaney, how are you?
I'm very, very well, Graham. It sounds very exciting in Sydney today. It's good that you've got an excellent day, and best of luck for everyone for the first grand final at the Sydney Football Stadium.
Yes, it's going to be a marvellous day here. Bruce, how's the feeling there? Have we got some tipsters up there? Which way are you going, Canterbury or Balmain?
Well, you can imagine up here, Graham, that you're outnumbered, being an ex-Canterbury player. Everybody here is going with Balmain. They're all hoping that Junior Pearce can win his first premiership. The control room, well, they're decked out in both the colours of the Bulldogs and the Tigers, but there's a strong Balmain feeling up here. I'm sitting a little bit on the fence, but I've got to go with Junior as well. It'd be lovely to see him win after all these years.
Yeah, Bruce, I want to talk to you about the fact that we've got brilliant sunny weather down here. How's the weather in Seoul?
Well, the weather in Seoul today is quite unusual because it's raining and much cooler. Graham, it's been pretty warm here. It's a marvellous city, a city with so much traffic, so many people, and so many sights and sounds. But today the weather is a little cooler than it has been. It's been generally about 28 to 30 degrees. There are temples, there are signs everywhere throughout this wonderful city. And the thing we've noticed is all the flower gardens that have come up in the last week or two, and there'll be plenty more before the games begin. There have been rehearsals to the opening ceremony. The security is tight, as you'd imagine. We're expecting a very, very colourful opening ceremony on Saturday. The venues are quite superb. The Velodrome, where Martin Vinicombe goes on Tuesday week, is excellent. And the tennis stadium, where Darren Cahill will be competing, is first class. The sculpture park and Olympic Park is super. There is colour everywhere. As I said, Olympic Park, Seoul Sports Complex. First-class facilities. Never seen a better swimming stadium than the one they've got. It's brand spanking new. There'll be world records galore there. Let's hope that maybe John Seaborn can repeat what he did in 1984. But that's building up, as you can see. Everything's in place. We're just waiting for it all to start.
Well, Bruce, everybody wants to know about it. 1984, 4 gold medals. Who do you think are our serious contenders?
Well, Lisa Martin and Martin Vinicombe, I think, are our best two chances. They were part of the party that arrived today, Graham. Most of the Australians came in today, including many from Network 10. A lot of us have been here, but our hosts came today. Of course, you and Tim are coming tomorrow. Our editors, technical people, makeup artists, etc. Lisa Martin was among the Australians that came in today. There was a very big welcome. Everybody is so friendly here. There's Martin Vinicombe and Marie Holland, Lisa and Grant, Laurie Lawrence, of course, the swimming coach who's done so much for Australia, Janelle Elford, who we're expecting big things from in the 800 metres and also the 400 metres, and Mike McKenzie has already found a friend. They all arrived safely, their luggage was here, and we can't wait for it to start. Best of luck, of course, for Canterbury and Balmain, and I believe, Graham, there's a special tribute for Dawn Fraser at halftime, one of our very great Olympians.
Yes, Bruce, we're all looking forward to that special Olympic tribute. It's going to be a great build-up to a great grand final. You're looking forward to the Olympics, Bruce. I'm looking forward to getting up there. We leave straight after the match tonight. I'll see you, I believe, Monday in Seoul.
Good calling today, Graham, and best of luck to everybody in Sydney.
Thanks for joining us. Bruce McAvaney, there he was, live from Seoul on the games of the 24th Olympiad. None of us in Australia can wait for them to start. Now, right now, coming back live to the Sydney Football Stadium, we're talking to Richard Bremner about to try and find the fastest 4 men in under-21 football in Sydney.
That's right, Graham, and believe you me, this year they are faster than when they ran around the cricket ground last year.
So it's sponsored by the Sydney Credit Union, 4 by 100 relay?
4 by 100 relay from try line to try line, Graham. And the teams this year, we've got North, Canberra, Penrith and South Sydney, and I think the boys in red and black this year might give them a bit of a shake-up.
So they're the favourites, the Bears?
Well, they've run the best time, but it's their first time in a final of this series. I think they're the go.
I know you've got to do the call. We'll let you break away as we go to the introductions of the teams.
Thank you, Graham.
All right, let's do that right now. All the teams lining up over on the try line. Let's go to the introductions of those sides.
Myself, I'd like to thank 2GB and the sponsors for a tremendous award that they've made available this year. I'd also like to take the opportunity to congratulate Bob O'Reilly and Parramatta for a tremendous win in the President's Cup. And also I'd like to...
Well, just a few thoughts on the under-21 games. I thought a quite superb performance came in from Danny Farrar, the 5'8" in the Parramatta side. He was unbelievable. He's very, very strong, very elusive, and scored a couple of tries. Jason Bell, the little halfback, did marvellously well for the Parramatta side. But overall, it was a very mature display by Parramatta. Under the coaching of Bob O'Reilly, they've really come a long way. And I suspect a lot of these players will be the future of the Parramatta club. Just a little note for the Eastern Suburbs players, or the Eastern Suburbs officials. Billy Dart, their second-row forward, I think is first-grade material as of next year. He's a very, very fine player. Okay, that's the way I saw the game. 28 points to 14 in favour of the Parramatta team. Very good performance. Let's go now back to the race.
And Gavin Miller. Well, there's the teams just lining up, waiting for this Sydney Credit Union 4 by 100 relay to find the quickest 4 members in our under-21 President's Cup division. We're looking at Canberra and North Sydney. And our thanks to the Sydney Credit Union for their support each and every year at grand final time for this race. Webster on stage at the moment with a few celebrities from Richmond Hill showing their feelings for the day, Balmain-wise.
I don't suppose it's really necessary to say which team you support, really, is it?
I'm not at all biased. Doesn't everybody wear these colours? It's been 20 years, nearly 20 years, and it was a hot day then. It's a hot day today.
Mate, how's the hill? Good?
The what?
The hill.
What hill? Oh, Richmond Hill. Oh, that's fine.
That's fine.
They don't play football there.
And joining us too, Brad Robinson from Page One. Brad, welcome to the Sydney Football Stadium and a grand final.
Thanks, Tim. This is the first rugby grand final I've ever been to. I've been to a few VFL ones, but it's amazing. It looks great.
Yeah, it's a great day. And thank you for joining us.
My pleasure.
Brad Robinson from Page One, and you're going to introduce that man over there, aren't you?
That's right. Ladies and gentlemen...
I'll do it if you like.
Oh, do you want?
If you like. His name's Richard Bremner. You introduce him, Brad.
Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Bremner, Richard Bremner.
Thank you, Brad, and welcome, week fans. This is the final of the Sydney Credit Union Jersey Flag Teams relay, and
I see the players are over there under the Sydney Credit Union sign warming up, so without further ado, we'll introduce them. In lane 1, representing the North Sydney Bears, runner number 1 from the Pennant Hills Club, fullback Alec Geddes. The number 2 North Sydney runner, and from the Crow's Nest Club, wing 3/4 Stuart Hogg. Runner number 3, a centre or second row forward, and also from the Crow's Nest Club, Robert McElwain. The final North Sydney runner, a City and New South Wales under-19 representative from the Pennant Hills Club, a wing 3/4 David Scala. Representing the Canberra Raiders in lane 2, the number 1 runner, a New South Wales under-19 representative, and from Queen BM United Club, second rower, Vince Sabuka. Runner number 2 from the Woden Valley Juniors, centre 3/4 Darryl McDonald. The number 3 runner, and from the Belconnen United Club, 5'8", Bernie Wilkinson. Running at number 4, and from the Belconnen United Club, centre 3/4 David Carney. In lane 3, representing the Penrith Panthers, runner number 1, a front row forward from Lethbridge Park Juniors, Kevin Edwards. Running at number 2 for the Panthers, and from the Lethbridge Park Club, centre 3/4 Matthew Wiles. The number 3 Penrith runner, and from the St Mary's Club, a Penrith under-21s fullback, Anthony Zareb. The final runner for the Panthers, a New South Wales under-19 rep and Penrith under-21s from the Blacktown Workers, second row forward Scott Hardy. The final team today, representing the South Sydney Rabbitohs in lane 4, runner number 1 from the Alexandria Rovers Club, wing 3/4 Adam Speechley. Running at number 2 for South, and from the Mascot Juniors, centre 3/4 Darren Bissett. The number 3 South Sydney runner, a centre 3/4 from the Mascot Juniors, Warren Ferguson. And the final runner in the Sydney Credit Union relay, and from the La Perouse Club, wing 3/4 Craig Mashman. They'll be ready just to go in just one moment in the Sydney Credit Union Grand Final relay. 400 metres the distance from try line to try line, carrying a regulation football. And they should run this, if you put your watches on it, in about 47 seconds flat. I see Tommy Tackler, the New South Wales players representative mascot. He's over there. He's going to help us time this event today. Tommy Tackler in the green and gold at the finish line. They're in the hands of our starter, Bill Edwards, now. And they're just about on their marks. A good clean start. North Sydney away well from Canberra, South Sydney and Penrith as they go towards the halfway mark. It's North Sydney from Canberra and South Sydney making up some ground, with Penrith running fourth at this stage. All good long passes, clean passes as they go along that second leg. It's North Sydney from South Sydney catching up. South Sydney overtaking North Sydney from Canberra and Penrith as they go towards that second changeover after 200 metres. With long passes again. It's South Sydney from Canberra, North Sydney and Penrith as they go towards the 250 metre mark. That third and final changeover down on the northern end of the ground. It's South Sydney from North Sydney as they go towards the end of it. Front ball by Penrith. But South Sydney are going to win this by 5 metres from Canberra, and North Sydney as they go towards the finish. What a great finish, what a great finish to the final. The South Sydney team.
South Sydney, too good. The Sydney Credit Union 4x100. Under 21, the fastest men there are in that Sydney division. We're going to take a break. Grand Final Day 1988 from the Sydney Stadium. We'll be back with more colour right after this. Joining us is Jack Coyne.